Hello and welcome to Secrets of Organ Playing podcast.
This is a show dedicated to helping you become a better organist.
We're your hosts, Vidas Pinkevičius
And Aušra Motuzaitė Pinkevičienė.
We have over 25 years of experience of playing the organ.
And we've been teaching thousands of organists online from 89 countries since 2011.
So now let's jump in and get started with the podcast for today.
We hope you'll enjoy it.
Hi guys, this is Vidas.
And Aušra.
Let's start episode 730 of Secrets of Organ Playing podcast. This question was sent by Benas, our Unda Maris studio student. And he writes, after learning to play Bach's Trio Sonata in E-flat major, I found myself reluctant to try and explore the rest of the Trio Sonatas. What could I try to overcome this fear? Context. Last year I played Bach's Trio Sonata in E-flat major, BWV 525 at Vilnius University Unda Maris studio recital in winter. And I found the entire learning process extremely difficult compared to any other piece I tried to learn. Usually when I am learning to play any piece of music, at some point I get a certain feeling that it's all going to come together eventually. And that has been a good predictor of whether I will perform it well in the concert. However, with this piece, I could not feel that at all, and my concert performance was really not up to my liking, making an underwhelming result after practicing it for about a year. Although I must admit the practice schedule was not very rigorous. As a result, I am really reluctant to try to learn the rest of the Trio Sonatas. However, at some point in life, I would still like to learn them. Any tips to overcome this fear and strategies for my next practice sessions? Many thanks. So, Aušra, Benas has dipped his toes into Trio Sonatas.
Yes, thanks to me. Maybe now he will hate me forever.
I actually find this question surprising because I never felt from him that this is the hardest piece that he learned and that he is not willing to play any other Trio Sonatas by Bach in the future.
Well, he's a very good student, and a nice person and behaving very well. So, what can I say? We cannot see everything what really is going on.
Yeah, that was a very interesting year. This year he played Bach Vivaldi D minor concerto, which is also a very strenuous piece.
Yes, but actually I don't blame myself for this piece because he simply, got that score and he decided to learn it. Neither me or you have encouraged him to do that. So this was on his own. But, with Trio Sonata, I think maybe, it was too early for him to play entire Trio Sonata. That's one possibility. But it was our mistake as teachers. Another thing is that Trio Sonata is really challenging. And he was playing the easiest one out of the 6. But maybe we would have to give him to play only one movement, for example, the first movement, not entire sonata.
But did you really feel that during a concert when he played it last year, did you feel that it was not perfect performance, not concert-ready performance?
Well, yes and no. It could have been better, but it was...
But so...
It was fine, I would say.
But we could say the same about any other piece that our students play, right?
That's true, definitely.
It could be better. But I was really delighted to hear him play at that level this Trio Sonata, all 3 movements.
Well, me too, and I think he can really be proud of himself because he did it, that's a big step ahead. And with other pieces, you might not advance so fast.
At the beginning of pandemic, I remember I started also playing my trio sonatas. Maybe some of them I refreshed, but some of them I learned from scratch. And I decided to learn and record one movement of each sonata every week. So I think I did like 4 of them, but then gave up because this schedule was just too tight.
Yes, but since he is not like professional organist, although he is really good, he does not have to play all 6 sonatas.
No, not at this time, of course.
Yes, and maybe I would suggest him to play other trios by G.S. Bach or other Baroque composers if he is interested in,
Trio texture.
in trio texture or, romantic trios. That would, be something different and still would have similar challenges. But, with trios, it's always hard because it tears your brain apart. And I think that you never can feel really comfortable while playing trio. That's the risk we all have to take.
Right. So what other trios that he could try playing besides trio sonatas? Choral preludes by Bach, for
Yes,
example,
like based on Alain Gott in Der Hörsayer.
from the Klavierübung.
Yes, and because there is one in A major and one in G major. In G major is from the third part of Klavierübung.
A major is from the
Leipzig's
Leipzig.
chorals, yes. We are really beautiful, and there are others, in the Leipzig settings, like the one in G major, how it's called, Jesu Christus unser Herr, or
I don't remember the title, but yeah, one of them is in G major.
And I've played it, but I already forgot the title. Haha.
And also other composers like Kirnberger and he could Krebs, of course. Krebs wrote many trios, and Benes could take a look at 2 of my favorite YouTube channels for early music, Partitura Organum and Ralph Loy. They both play a lot of Baroque chorale preludes, and a lot of them are in trio texture, and some of them are not well known at all. And romantic trios, of course, Reinberger and Rudnik, which we already have discovered earlier, and probably Merkel.
Yes, that's true. And I remember that title of that G major trio that I was talking here, Jesu Christ dicht zu uns wend.
Okay, beautiful. So yeah, lots of pieces to choose from, but I wouldn't say that trio sonatas need to be avoided or something, because they really teach you great hand and feet independence, and it's all required at the conservatory level, at least one movement.
Yes.
So that was probably your initial idea.
Sure.
To
Sure.
initiate Benas into classical organ training at the academy level.
Yes, that's why, I gave him to play the big piece by G.S. Bach, Prelude and Fugue, A minor, and Trio Sonata, and, French Toccata, because these are all pieces that, shows up that you are self-confident organist and you can, play versatile repertoire.
And of course, Trio Sonatas are, of course, a major part in any organ competition.
Now I think what he really needs is to play some modern music. I think he needs to do like Messiaen. Or maybe Jean Langlais, or something.
Something by French
Yeah.
composers. Because he already did...
And something, modern.
he already played Rheinberger, which is a good introduction into...
But it's, romantic in style. Now he needs to do some really hard, like, rhythmic work, where you need to count, like subdivide really, and something outside of like that, classical
domain.
tonality.
He played the famous Dubois toccata at one point. But of course, we need later music for him to choose.
Since our next concert will be in December, I would suggest maybe La Nativité.
Some of the variations,
Yes.
some of the
Yes.
meditations. Yeah, definitely good choice. Yeah, Benas is very promising young student, and he's been playing organ with us for a number of years now.
Yes, and to answer his question, what should he do? That he would like to play Trio Sonatas or trios again. I would say he needs to
Take a break.
Take a break, yes. And I think that gradually the day will come that he will want to return back to playing trios.
Yeah. And as you suggested, just one movement would be enough, probably. Like we suggested earlier, one trio chorale prelude would be enough, right? Or one movement of a trio sonata would be enough, but not necessarily entire trio sonata in 3 movements. That, of course, is a beautiful goal, but maybe not with every concert.
Definitely not.
All right, guys, please send us more of your questions. We love helping you grow. And remember, when you practice,
Miracles happen.
This podcast is supported by Total Organist, the most comprehensive organ training program online.
It has hundreds of courses, coaching, and practice materials for every area of organ playing, thousands of instructional videos and PDFs. You will not find more value anywhere else online.
Total Organist helps you to master any piece, perfect your technique, develop your sight reading skills, improvise or compose your own music, and much, much more.
Sign up and begin your training today at organduo.lt and click on Total Organist. And of course, you will get the first month free too. You can cancel anytime.
If you like our organ music, you can also support us on Buy Me a Coffee platform.
Find out more at